Board of Commissioners is now in order. Please stand for the pledge and prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, liberty.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together and do the work of the citizens of Howard County. We ask that you lead our thoughts, guide our actions, and help us to do what's best for the citizens of this fine county that we live in. Watch over the state of Indiana, and watch over the United States of America, and watch over and protect our troops that are in other countries in harm's way, and definitely in the Middle East. Watch over, help them, and somehow, some way, let's end that war, good Lord. And we know we can do it, and we know you can help make that happen. It's in your Son's name that we pray. Amen.
Hold on.
Okay. Do we have any special announcements or recognitions?
I believe so.
Okay. Approval of previous meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, those are approved. Let's make sure we get those signed. And next up will be, takes us into our departmental business and reports, our health department, employee flu shots.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, okay, yeah, I read this.
Kelly?
Hello.
All right, so last year, we had ordered 175 doses for the county employees. Of which we used 84 doses. So I'm projecting, it's been around that each season, it seems, 100 or less. So I think, in my opinion, we should decrease the amount requested to 130 doses. And it continues to be, we're seeing a lot of people 65 and up. I know I've said that every year. They get the high dose usually, and we bill their Medicare for that. And then I think a lot of people are getting them when they're at the grocery store or whatever instead of coming to the county clinics. So I suggest 130 doses.
Okay. Well, we don't want to get too many, do we?
No, no.
So that would be a total cost of $2,470.
Correct. $2,470 for the 130 doses.
Okay. And they do seem to be making it easier, like at all the drugstores and.
And I think that's a
grocery
big part of
stores.
it. You're out getting groceries, oh, I'll just grab my flu shot here,
All right. Questions, comments?
My only question would be, if we got 130 doses and you use those up, is it possible to get more, or is that not?
We can, but probably what we would do, because we wouldn't have the funding for those, obviously, we could put that through their insurance, run it through the insurance in the office. And if it's someone that is uninsured, then we have programs for that as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the seasonal flu vaccine order. All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Those
thank
are
you.
approved. Thank you, Kelly.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, next up will be our maintenance department, Mr. Stone Street.
Good afternoon. This is the contract for Otis Elevator. I'd like to switch from Murphy to Otis. It's different than what the original one that you had, I just got this here, I think Friday afternoon. It's got a clause, an additional clause in there that if we have a problem with something that Otis does, we can give them a 90-day warning to fix it. If they don't fix it in that 90 days, we can back out of the contract. I wanted a 3-year contract and not a 5, and they threw that clause in there instead. I don't foresee any problems with Otis Elevator. And also, that's a very good price. So with your blessing, I'd like to go ahead and move forward with Otis Elevator to do all of our elevator work from here on out.
Every building?
Every building we own, including the Jeff Stout lift in front of the government center, Jeff Stout Government Center.
I'm making a motion to accept the Otis elevator agreement.
I have reviewed that agreement.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept the elevator contract. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. This requires one signature, so I would ask motion to allow me to affix my signature to this contract.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Hand that down.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Okay, that takes care of our departmental business and reports. Is there any new business to come? Okay.
Okay.
Amer, did you have some new business to
I think Alan's got it under his.
under his? Okay. All right, then that takes us to claims and reports, which, let me look through here real quick. Okay. Salary claims,
$1,161,637.31.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, those are approved. Payroll expense,
$1,161,637.31.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Those are approved. Operating claims,
$564,772.61.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Those are approved. Do we have any claims to ratify?
None.
Okay, how about monthly reports?
I have Weights and Measures Monthly Report, June 16, 2026 through July 15, 2026. And I have the County Treasurer's Monthly Report, month ending 6/30 of 2026.
We'll mark those as presented. Do we have any grants?
None.
Okay. All right, thank you. That takes us to Mr. Wilson.
I have two matters for consideration tonight. The first is an ordinance to modify the intersection of County Road 850 East and County Road 50 South to turn it into a three-way stop intersection. Amber can give you the details on that.
Okay. Welcome, Amber.
So this is an ordinance to change the existing intersection. It is a three-way with two-way stop controlled and one-way through. If you're familiar with the area, this is on the kind of the southeast end of Greentown. And there is a sports complex that's been built in the last couple of years on the southeast side of that intersection. And I've been speaking with Commissioner Brad Bray about this. His constituents are concerned about students walking from the school to that sports complex after school for practices, meetings, games, that sort of thing. I agree. I've seen students just walk down the roads. We need a way for these students to cross those roads safely. So we propose making that into a three-way stop, so every direction would stop. And then that would allow us to put a crosswalk on the north leg of that intersection to allow those students to cross at a fully stop controlled intersection. And then also today, the township trustees have come together to build a sidewalk on the west side of 850, which is Meridian and Greentown, to connect an existing sidewalk to that crosswalk so that the students can take sidewalks all the way from the school up to that complex. So we're essentially just trying to create a better crossing for those students, a safer place for those students to cross.
Okay,
The town contacted me about this, and it said, with that sports complex, when you're coming from the north, going south, they blow through there at probably 60 mile an hour. Our next step, she's gonna lower that to 30 mile an hour through there.
Yes.
And rumble strips, I believe, to let them know there's gonna be a stop sign.
Yeah, we'll indicate, we'll have some
And signs.
indications that we're have stop signs on both directions for southbound, which is the new stop for that intersection. We're going to work with the town and with the school as well to make sure that everybody is aware. I've already talked to the school with their school bus routes and all that, and they're very much in favor of keeping the students safe. So yes.
Town marshal said he would help try to, when you change it to
Yes.
30, to try to get them slowed down.
Yeah.
so what's your plan to educate people that it's becoming a three-way stop?
So we want to do this before school starts because we want to start the school with this new intersection implemented. So that would mean that we would work with the sheriff's department and the town sheriff's police as well, and let them know, help them get out there maybe at the beginning and ending of school times, have them out there with lights and indications to keep people aware of that intersection. We also need to contact the newspapers and the radios and social media and everything that we can kind of get a hold of. There'll be stop ahead signs. There'll be, more indications in that area that something is changing. So,
Can the sheriff put in other sign, like, slow down, you're going too fast, kind of sign?
yeah, they can do that. I'll talk to the sheriff's department as well and see what they can implement at that time. So school starts August 4th, which is not too far away. Summer's almost done. So we would like to implement this as quickly as possible.
Good.
Thank you, Amber.
Questions, comments?
What's the ordinance number?
No.
Do you need one? BCCO-27.
27. Ordinance number 2026 BCCO 27.
I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That ordinance is passed. You had something else, Mr.
The
Wilson?
final item I have is an interlocal agreement between the county and the recycling district, whereby the county would provide building inspection, code enforcement personnel in exchange for reimbursement of the costs by the recycling district.
Just as a FYI, this is already listed in that ordinance
Yes,
for their enforcement. Is that correct?
that's right.
Okay. All right. Questions or comments about this interlocal agreement for code enforcement services?
I would make that motion to accept and.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
This interlocal service agreement is passed. This requires, looks like one signature.
Yes.
So I would ask permission to affix my signature to this agreement.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That is passed. Pass it.
And that's it for me.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Lipinski.
I just want to thank Rice Tree Company for the removal of the property in West Middleton. If you've been by there this week, they did an outstanding job removing the old earthenware pottery building. That building had been deemed unsafe, and kids were there for the school bus, and they did a really nice job, and it's unfortunate sometimes that we have to do these things, but it is better, and it's been removed, and it's a very clean area now, so it's nice.
Good.
There's more properties in that area that probably will have to be dealt with, but that was a nice start.
I want to acknowledge you, Mr. Lipinski, for taking the lead and getting that done. You're right, that building was leaning, it was dangerous, and needed to be done, so thank you for taking the lead.
Thank you.
Mr. Bray?
Got another fair under our belt now, and it was another successful one. I was out there all week, and it was a warm one. We'll continue to get some heat, so remind everybody, stay hydrated and get in out of the heat when you can.
It was a nice fair.
Yes.
I want to remind everybody for the planning commission meeting tomorrow that that's been moved from this room down to the basement, the large meeting rooms. Just want to remind everybody of that. So,
What time?
5:30. So, hey, public comments.
Wasn't going to, Lee Oliver, it said
Thank you,
60
Lee.
West, 001 South. I just wanted to see what the status was on 750 and Old Sycamore. I know you talked about, I mean, I go through there quite a bit, and it is, I know you've had a study going on out there, but, I mean, I go through there a lot, and I've had a friend of mine killed there years ago, and I know with this kid on a moped, but just curious as to where we're at with that.
Lee, thank you for bringing that up. I have asked our county highway to engage a professional traffic engineer to look at that and to bump that up to high priority
Okay.
and give us recommendations. I went out there and looked at it. I'm not a traffic engineer,
Yeah.
so I know Amber is engaged those services. You want to update where that stands?
Yeah.
Yep. She's there.
Yeah, so just to kind of like lay out like what our plan is, we've been working on some safety action plans for quite a few years. So we did create between the county and the city, we created a Howard County Safety Action Plan. This was about a years-long study of different intersections and thoroughfares that were considered high traffic or high incident areas. We completed this in February of 2025. And it did a deep dive in the intersections in, like I said, in the county, in the city, and even the state intersections, just to assess the safety of the overall intersections and the thoroughfares, road sections of our county. So they also compared our county to 4 other counties that are very, very similar. We compared very well as far as, accidents and incidents. The way that we assess this is we do it in a way that the whole point of this is so that we can have this document so that this helps us apply for federal grants for safety funds to improve some of these intersections in the future. So this was the document that we needed to create to be the first step in that process of analyzing and getting some of those federal funds in the future. So anyway, we were compared to some other counties, 4 other counties. We compared very well. The one statistic I did want to point out is that we did have a higher than state average percentage of unrestrained injured occupants, which means seatbelts. So that's something that is very, I wouldn't say easy to attain, but that's something that we can work on. And I was planning on working with the sheriff's department to kind of see if we can do something like, some improvements in that section. But moving on to our intersections, there are about 23 intersections that are in the top like 10% of incidents, which means that we have a lot of incidents, but they're pretty spread out throughout the county. So the top 10% of the accidents, there's 23 intersections. So the top intersection that is the most, quote, dangerous for the county is Smith Road and Davis Road, which I don't think that's any surprise to any of us, but we have started a study on that one. We started that about 6 months ago. So we have a traffic specialist who is kind of looking at that, looking at some different options, whether that's a complete reconstruction of the intersection or whether that's maybe just some minor improvements. We're going to try to figure that out. An additional complication to that intersection is that there's a railroad on the east side of that intersection, and they have, in this time that we have studied this intersection, they've come to me with a proposal that they want to extend their railroad. So that's kind of complicated our study just a little bit. It's just adding another dimension to that. So we're trying to figure out what the best improvement for that intersection might be. So with that, the intersection in question, 750 and 00, was actually number 7 on the list. So there were a few other intersections that we had planned to study before we got to County Road 750 and 00. But with your indication and with your request, we have moved that up. So we met with that traffic consultant. We already had a meeting set up for the Davis and Smith intersection. So we went ahead and added that 750 and 00 intersection. So we have begun to start that test as well, or that study as well. So that one should be a fairly quick study. So there might be something within the next several months, depending on if it's a quick improvement, something
Okay,
very simple.
Let me interrupt you just
Sure.
a second. Remember back to our conversation, I don't want this to take several months. This needs to be done
Right.
quickly.
Yes. I want to do it correctly, and I want to do it correctly the first time. So we already have out there, we have cross traffic does not stop. We have those signs are already out there. They have been for quite some time. We already have reflectors on those stop signs. We already have a flashing signal, or not signal, but a flashing light on the north side of that intersection for southbound traffic to indicate an intersection. So some of these things that we have thrown out there are already implemented. So they're already there. So if we keep throwing things out there, it becomes more of a distraction than an improvement. So I want to make sure that we do the improvement quickly, but also correctly the first time. So it should be a fairly quick study for them. They haven't indicated how much time they think that it'll take them, but it won't be, Smith and Davis will be a very long, because it is probably going to be an intersection reconstruction of a pretty decent manner. But this one should be a fairly quick study. But I can't say that I can put something out there next week because, again, I don't want to keep throwing things out there that are going to become more of a distraction than a help. But we will do that as quickly as we possibly can, so.
That's why I'm asking, as
Yes.
quickly as you possibly can.
Yes.
Get
So-
a traffic engineer out there to look at it.
Yes,
I don't
yep.
know if you have to understand. I was just curious,
Mm-hmm.
how many deaths, as far as on those intersections? Have the
Yes.
number of deaths on those?
We do, and in the time frame that we studied those, the fatalities weren't in that time frame. So we couldn't go back to the beginning of time because they haven't been recorded very well since the beginning of time. So the study didn't go back to any of the fatalities. And then obviously it stopped in 2024, so it didn't have any of those that were recently done. So none of them had fatalities. And the way that these are ranked is they assign like a number value to like a fatality or a wreck that has like a incapacitating injury, so somebody was taken off in an ambulance. There's different categories and there's a number associated with each of those, and that's kind of how we have to have like a number to try to assess these. We can't just, out of our feelings and out of our emotions, try to assess these intersections. So It's done by kind of a number base, so how many fatalities times the number, plus how many injuries times the number, and that's kind of done on a national scale. So we get those numbers from like the National Traffic
I
Service.
appreciate the efforts you guys have put out there, so. With all that being said, with all the efforts they've put out there, and I went and I took pictures, I looked at it from every angle. You can't stop people from running stop signs, from speeding, and you can make them aware, but you just can't stop people from doing the things people do.
The number one thing that I would suggest to all the public is, one, put your phones down. Eliminate as many distractions as you possibly can. That is the number one thing that I see on most incidents is distracted driving. Two is speed. Note your speed, note the speed limits, and keep to those speed limits. They're there for a reason. And also at stop signs, look and look again. But yeah, speed limits, stop signs, seatbelts are only as good as those that use them. So,
Thank you, Amber.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And on that note of speeding and slowing down, like I said, 750, it's dark right there. You come up over that hill, it's dark to see that sign. But I live down 5768 West, just right there by Derbyshire. And that's where actually Dr. Peel's wife was killed years ago, coming up over that hill. And I would suggest some type of traffic or surveillance of speed through there, because they fly through there. I mean, I live just right at the top of that hill where she was killed at the bottom. And it's bad right there too. So just throw that out. Thank you.
Thanks, Cliff.
Thanks, Lee. Is there any other public comment? Hearing none, seeing none.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
I have a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.